In the Galactic Union, most species agreed on one universal truth. Some worlds were just too dangerous to produce civilized life. High-gravity worlds, radiation-scorched planets, volcanic systems where storms never ended. They called them Deathworlds, and they assumed life there would be simple, brutal, and short. They were wrong. The first Deathworlder species to join the Union called themselves humans. They arrived quietly. No grand fleet. No display of force. Just a single representative vessel requesting membership. Many species protested immediately. They are too aggressive by nature. They evolved under constant survival pressure. They will destabilize peace. But the Council approved them anyway. As a test. A controlled risk. For decades, humanity played the role expected of them. They adapted to Union laws. They participated in diplomacy. They avoided unnecessary conflict. And slowly, the galaxy began to relax. Some even called humans well-behaved Deathworlders. That phrase would later be remembered as a warning sign. The first crack appeared on the Vera border. A minor dispute between two alien factions escalated into armed conflict. Standard Union fleets were dispatched. Human forces were included as auxiliary units. Observers only. Non-essential. The battle should have lasted days. Instead, it ended in under an hour. Not because of destruction, but because the battlefield stopped behaving like a battlefield. Enemy formations collapsed without structural damage. Weapon systems began misfiring on authorization errors. Command networks lost synchronization mid-strategy. It was as if every plan suddenly became impossible to execute. A Union admiral reviewed the logs afterward. Nothing made sense.
No overwhelming firepower. No tactical annihilation.
Just systematic breakdown of escalation itself. He finally said, "They didn't win the war." A pause. They made war stop being functional. But the galaxy still underestimated them. Because Deathworlders were not designed for war. They were designed for survival. And survival has no rules about fairness. The real event came during the Karen expansion crisis. A powerful empire attempted to seize multiple star systems in a rapid conquest. Full invasion fleets were deployed. Planetary bombardment units prepared. Resistance expected minimal. Humanity responded differently. No declaration of war. No diplomatic warning. Just deployment of small, scattered human task groups across affected regions. At first, no one understood the strategy. It looked disorganized. Too small. Too quiet. Then everything collapsed. Not physically. Structurally. Invasion fleets began experiencing internal contradiction loops. Supply chains rerouted themselves. Command structures began rejecting their own orders. Even soldiers reported something strange. They stopped feeling like the mission made sense. A strategist in the Union finally identified the pattern. They are not attacking forces. A pause. They are attacking coordination. That was the true fear of Deathworlders. They did not rely on superior technology alone. They understood something deeper. If an enemy cannot coordinate, it cannot exist as a force. Then came the emergency council session. Multiple species demanded restrictions on human military deployment. Too unpredictable. Too destabilizing. Too effective. But when the council reviewed incident data, something unexpected appeared. Every human intervention had resulted in heavy checkmark lower casualties, heavy checkmark faster conflict resolution, heavy checkmark increased long-term stability, heavy checkmark collapse of extremist factions. A council elder finally spoke. So they are dangerous, because they reduce war. No one answered immediately, because the answer was yes. Then the final transmission from Earth arrived during a multi-system crisis. It was short, calm, heavy with meaning. We did not evolve to fight wars. A pause. We evolved to survive environments where mistakes are fatal. Another pause. War is just another environment. That statement changed everything, because it revealed what the galaxy had misunderstood. Human soldiers were not stronger because they had better weapons. They were stronger because they treated conflict as a survivable system failure condition. And systems like that do not lose in the long run. In the centuries that followed, species stopped fearing human fleets. They started fearing something else. The moment humans stopped trying to avoid war, and started treating it like something that must be solved completely or not allowed to continue at all. Because Deathworlders were not just warriors. They were survivors of impossible worlds. And once they entered the galaxy, the definition of impossible quietly began to disappear.